Hi, my name is Molly Berry, and it's so nice to welcome you to our gorgeous campus today for Orientation and Registration. This next session is titled Parents as Partners, because what we want to do is introduce you to all of the various resources your student has to be so successful at Millikin. I'm going to introduce you to some of my peer and colleagues and talk to you about all of the different offices that can support your students as they go through their academic process before they graduate from Millikin. So please follow me as we talk about what it means to be parents as partners.
Hi, my name is Paul Leidy, and I'm the Director of Residence Life. The main functions of our office are all the housing needs for all of our students here on campus. Our goal is to build community within all the residence halls and be that student's 24-hour support system outside of the classroom specifically. I think the biggest thing I want parents to understand is that let our office help support your student while you are away. So when we talk about that support system and that 24-hour service that we want to provide, whether that be through the RA or the paraprofessional staff member, the pro staff member, whoever that would be, we want to make sure that your student is supported. The other thing we want to remind you and student is that more likely than not, your student's going to have a roommate. So talking through that expectation and that change of maybe never having a roommate before and what those expectations and what that's like to live in a 10 by 10 room with somebody else is a bit different. So let us help you in those conversations and work that through with your student. And two, we do have this Everything You Need to Know book that you're going to get today. So I really want to make sure that you have the opportunity to take that and walk through what it's going to be like and what we expect of you and your student by living on campus.
Hi, Molly. My name is Z. Paul Reynolds, and I'm the Director of Student Development and the Richard Street University Center here at Millikin University. My office is located in the Dean of Students office in the lower level of the Richard Street University Center. Well, I have two primary functions, or my office has two primary functions. The first is to manage the day-to-day and the long-term planning of the Student Center here at Millikin. And in that position, I'm responsible for supervising about 20 student employees, and we really focus heavily on performance learning. 10 of those student staff members are student building managers, so they get real good experience at Millikin that they can transfer to other positions. And then the other part of my position requires me to kind of be the chief retention specialist for the university. So I do a lot of interacting with faculty members and other staff members at the university to kind of find out what we can do better to retain students and how we can support students better. Specifically for the student retention piece, I actually oversee the Secondary Student Development Advising Program here at Millikin, which basically if a student qualifies to be in that program, there is additional support given to them by virtue of the fact that they're assigned a Secondary Student Development Advisor at the university. So that is a master's level professional staff member who is assigned to them in addition to their academic advisor to make sure that they have everything that they need to be successful and that barriers are removed when they're here at Millikin. I think the best thing to know about our office is if you don't know where to go or if you don't know who to call, we're a good place to start. So we have kind of tentacles, what I would like to call, to every place on campus. So we can reach out. If we're not sure who to call, we can find out who to call. If you're not sure where to go, or if your student isn't sure where to go, we can make sure that we do the proper referrals. We do a lot of referral stuff within our office.
Hi, my name is Brian Pear. I'm the chef at Millikin University. I work in the Warnick dining room. At least that's where they let me work. I'm the food guy. So I cook their cheeseburgers and their french fries and the tremendous amount of chicken nuggets and pizzas. It's unbelievable. Parents, relax. They'll be fine. I'm going to introduce them to some new foods and have some fun with them, but they got to just relax. We'll take care of them, I promise. They won't eat SpaghettiOs every day. They're going to have vegetables and fruit and all kinds of stuff, I promise. Making sure that you spend the appropriate amount of time in the classroom and asking the right questions and getting the most out of this college experience that you can get. I was a very mediocre student in the classroom, but put me into the kitchen and I excelled tremendously. I wish I could go back and spend more time in the classroom and put more effort into that than I did as in the kitchen, because I'd be a better chef today.
Well, I'll tell you, as a dean of students, I took advantage of a lot as a college student, which is how I ended up in the position I am today. However, I will say if I could go back in time, I wouldn't miss a single class, because now I know how much investment each and every class period is for your education and your future, so students never miss a single class. It's not worth it.
I think I wish I had taken more advantage of student groups and organizations on campus. Mm-hmm.
Well, I commuted to Millikin, and I regret not spending more time on campus. I would have made a lot more friends. I think I would have been involved in more activities. It was just way too easy for me to go to class and go home and study. So I think I missed out on a lot of really good, exciting things on campus.
I wish I'd taken advantage of the multiple conversations I could have had with the people sitting next to me in class, with the faculty members, with the people I participated in student organizations with. I think I could have learned a lot more about myself and about them if I'd just taken the time.
Looking back, I think that one of the things that made me as successful as I've been able to is actually the relationships that I was able to build while I was in college. It was through the experience of having a wonderful advisor that had me over for dinner, that didn't just talk to me in the classroom, but I could go into her office and get a cup of coffee. It was those experiences, and the thing is that we can translate that experience here at Millikin. We do those kinds of things. We do those kinds of things that are not normal at most college and university campuses.
So I really wish I would have studied abroad. As a first-generation college student, I didn't understand what studying abroad could do for me in my future. So I just thought, it's too expensive, it's too much money, it's not something that I can swing right now. And when I realized that I should have done that, I encouraged my sisters to do that, and they both studied abroad. But I really wish I would have experienced that when I was in undergrad, and I really encourage your student to look into the option of studying abroad at Millikin.
Thinking back, I wish I would have used our Career Center more often. I had a basic resume, but I probably didn't fully utilize the internship process, the interview process, especially when I was getting near the end of my senior year, how to really prepare for that transition from college to real life. So that would be one of the things I would encourage students to do, is as they get ready to exit, definitely start thinking about that and have those conversations with our Career Center.
As a student, I wish I would have taken more advantage of the healthcare services. There's nothing like driving all the way home feeling ill when you could see somebody on campus to take care of your needs.
Probably more of the student-based resources. I went to a large state school. I know that they had student-based resources. I didn't use them to the effect that I should have, and my grades showed it for 2 semesters. So I would encourage them, Office of Student Success, Student Development, all of those ancillary offices outside of the standard curriculum. Get involved, get to know those people, and realize that part of the growth is learning when you need help, and maybe asking for it before you really need it will get you ahead of the curve.
And there's never another time in their life that all of those resources are going to be in one place, where people are going to openly and willingly say, I can help you with this, or let me help you with that. So I think they need to take advantage of the resources across campus.
Well, hello, my name is Cheryl Howerton, and I am the Director of Student Financial Services, which is the Office of Student Financial Services. Well, our office is responsible for all the finances that go on here at the institution for students, basically. So our office handles financial aid, we handle the student accounts, so billing for your tuition and fees. We also cash checks for students, so there's a lot of finance type information and processes that go on in my office. We do a lot of counseling in terms of student loans, how to complete the requirements so that your student loans can be processed. We help students with federal work study and pointing them in the right direction if they're interested in working on campus. We also administer our parent loan processes, and we also handle all of the billing, like I said. So when we're going to be sending out bills, we let students know when payments are due, how they sign up for our payment plan, and how they keep themselves in good standing. Well, we're going to be the office that's going to really help them do financial literacy. This is going to be the time when they're becoming an adult, and they're going to have to take over a lot of financial information, a lot of things that they have to do in terms of their financial aid. So they really need to be familiar with where we are, be familiar with our phone number, give us a call, not be afraid to come in and ask the question, because we know that they don't know. It's their first time coming to college, and financial aid is definitely confusing, can be. So definitely use our office as a resource to help them through financial aid and billing concerns. I think my advice would be to start having financial literacy conversations with your student. Get them a checking account, get them familiar with how to use a debit card. Have them set up a mini budget. For instance, if they're working over the summer and they're making a paycheck, what would you like to see them do with that paycheck? Because their financial aid is going to be handled in a very similar manner. If they do get a financial aid refund, let's say, that happens one time in a term, how are they going to allocate those refunds? How are they going to use that so that they are making sure their expenses are paid and they're not calling home asking for money?
I am Kevin Graham. I'm Director of Counseling Services here at Millikin University. Our office is located in the same building as the Health Clinic, which is across the street from the Decatur Indoor Sports Center. Our main service is providing individual counseling, which is confidential and free. We do some couples at times. We started a couple groups this past year. We're looking at starting possibly some more group counseling this coming year. And we also provide consultation to faculty and staff about their concerns about students, some minor assessments, mainly around depression, anxiety issues, and also referral services. At times there's issues that we are not able to deal with in our counseling center, so we refer into the community. Well, I think one of the biggest things that you need to understand the whole concept of confidentiality. Once a student turns 18 years old, parents need to know that we cannot provide any information to them unless they sign a release form. But we do want to hear parents' concerns. So if they're calling and they're asking, is my son and daughter in and I don't have a release form, I basically like to say something like, well, I can neither confirm nor deny that we're seeing your son or your daughter, but we want to hear what your concerns are. And we'll talk those over with the parent, and we can make very general recommendations. And often when they're that concerned, they need to be talking to their son or their daughter about that concern as well, and encourage them to come in and make use of our services. Some parents want to make appointments for their son or their daughter. We find that it's much more effective if the student themselves will make that appointment, either walking in or calling and setting up a time. We saw 250 different students last year, over 1,000 appointments. We are able to get students in pretty quickly, especially if they're really struggling or if they're in crisis. We'll get them in as soon as we can. I think parents need to understand how big of a transition this is, not just for their student, but for the whole family. Transition creates stress on everybody. So I think it's a good thing that if parents would take this summer to have some really good conversations with their student. Things about what are their expectations of grades, part-time jobs, number of different issues. And we're going to talk about those in the 2 sessions I'm going to have this afternoon with parents. So my other piece of advice is I highly advise parents to come to one of those sessions. And we're going to talk about these topics and a lot of other helpful things. And they're going to walk away with a good handout with some good information on it.
I'm Pam Folger, and I'm the director of the Career Center at Millikin. The Career Center has several functions: career services, student employment, service learning, and civic engagement. We provide comprehensive career services, so everything from career counseling to career assessments, helping students decide on a major, change a major, career building experiences, so internships, part-time jobs, career fairs, networking opportunities, anything that relates to career development, so resume building, job search assistance, things such as that. We also manage student employment for campus, and so we help to connect students to opportunities on campus and in the community while they're in college. And as well, we provide weekend service opportunities and civic engagement as well. The Career Center would love to partner with you in helping your son or daughter to really engage early in the career development process. It really is so important that they realize that planning for life after graduation begins day one of the college experience. So we would really like to partner with you in that process.
My favorite Millikin tradition is the existence of our January immersion term and summer immersion term, which allows students to try out new topics, intensive course structure, and travel in a 1 to 3 week format.
Anything in the CAF, of course, but homecoming. I love homecoming. So everybody coming back, this is now going to be coming up on my 7th school year, and seeing kids that have left and come back. And yes, I say kids because they're my kids. Seeing them leave, come back, and ask them what they're doing, how they're doing, all the different pieces of the puzzle. So homecoming is my favorite.
I'm actually new this year to Millikin, so I am looking forward to all of the events, but I hear homecoming is awesome and I'm excited.
I actually have 2 of those. It is the start and the finish of the school year. So I really enjoy when the students come back and campus life is busy, and they're all excited about telling us what events and things have occurred for them over the summer, as well as I like the tradition of graduation after we have spent 4 years with them and we get to watch them walk across the stage.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but I would say the opening convocation is one of my favorite events at Millikin.
Anything that relates to student performances or presentations. So I really love anything through the College of Fine Arts, the celebration of scholarship, and especially graduation.
You know, in the past, I would have said homecoming, but this year, our celebration of Scholarship Day was amazing. The campus was alive. The students were dressed to the nines for their presentations and poster symposiums, and everybody was energy. There was just a lot of energy. I think professors were probably really happy with what was going on. I know the Millikin community and parents that came to see these presentations were very impressed. So I would say that is a great tradition that Millikin continues to carry on.
My favorite Millikin event is become a tradition for me, and that's Vespers, which is the first weekend of December each year, where all the choirs get together with an orchestra, and it's just amazing. Great way to see all the wonderful talent we have here on Millikin. So parents, I suggest you get that on your calendar as soon as possible. Watch for those tickets to go on sale, and I think you won't regret it one bit.
Anytime Kirkland Fine Arts Center is fully seated, it has 1,800 seats. And anytime we can see our entire campus community come together for an event, it's a goosebump moment for me. To see all those wonderful folks looking at the stage, whether that be our students performing, or our faculty speaking, or their peers walking across the stage for honors convocation. I love any event in the Kirkland Fine Arts Center.
Well, I guess I've got to say the cookie party, because it's just overwhelming on campus. Everybody knows about it. Everybody in Decatur knows about it. So it's a great event.
Is the cookie party specifically, just because it's the end of the first semester, it's the holidays, everybody's in such a good mood, and it's such a great moment of building community where everybody comes together just because of a cookie.
It has got to be the cookie party. It is one of my favorite things that we host on campus. Our office sponsors it, and it's just a great way to wind down the fall semester, and one of our longest standing traditions to date at Millikin.
It has to be the cookie party. I'm sure everybody's going to say that, but the cookie party is great. We have an obscene number of cookies, and the students come down, and all of the campus community shows up. Alums come back. It's a huge event. It's really fun to be part of, and it lets us know that Christmas is coming, and the end of the first term is here. So it's a great event.
Thank you.
My name is Chris Ballard. I'm clearly the head groundskeeper for Millikin, and no, I'm kidding. I'm the director of public safety and the chief of police here at Millikin. Primarily, we are here to act as a support to the rest of the institution. We provide 24-hour security and law enforcement protection. We also monitor all the access control and the burglar alarms and the fire alarms and the comings and goings on campus. But our primary role is to act as a resource. So we make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible, and then when things don't go as smoothly as possible, we try to rectify it as fast as we can. We're kind of the one-stop shop for students in terms of getting connected where they might need to be, but one of our primary things are students like to lose keys for some reason. They'll lose their apartment key or their residence room key, so we can help solve that one pretty quickly. We maintain an inventory of temporary locks. We also can direct them to the duplicating office to get a new ID, and then we activate that and make sure that they have the access levels that they need. But one of the primary resources we offer is an after-hours escort service. I don't call it an escort service anymore. It's a little awkward, me running an escort service. So now we call it Safe Rides and Safe Walks. So from dusk until dawn, our office will make sure that students can move about the campus with the confidence that they're safe through either a security officer walking with them or them riding in one of the vans. We service the entire campus area. So if they need to go to the library, which they will find at some point during their school career, or they want to go to the subway at the corner of Oakland and Wood, that's in a university-owned building, we'll take them and drop them off. Those kind of services are where students interface with us the most. Just that we're a 24/7 contact point, so we would encourage their student to have our number in their phone. While they may not think to call public safety for, say, a dead battery on a car on a Saturday, we actually would provide a service to help them with that. Or they're locked out of their room, or they're supposed to be somewhere and they can't, those kind of things. So our number is 217-464-8888, and it just needs to be stressed to them that if they just don't know who else to call, give us a ring and we'll connect them to the right place. Let them go. Let them go. It'll be fine. The key thing is stay engaged, but make sure that their student is engaged on campus. We want them to do stuff here, solve their own problems, handle their own roommate issues, get out there and do things that they've never done before. So go to a different kind of concert, go watch a play that maybe is a little controversial. That's what the place is for. It's an environment to do that, to grow, to learn, to expand our boundaries and do those things. So that's probably the number one thing I would say is let them go, let them try it.
My name is Carrie Trimble, and I'm the director for the Center of International Education. The Center for International Education exists so that Millikin students have help and advice finding places to study abroad. We want them globally engaged. Whether it's our semester-long London program or a semester with one of our over 30 exchange partners, we also help students if they're just looking for a short-term experience with one of our 1 to 3 week travel immersions. In addition to helping Millikin students find out where they might want to study abroad and where they might want to spend some time away from campus, we also act as advisors to international students who've chosen to study at Millikin and to come spend their time here in Decatur. Parents should know that we understand that often their concerns about students traveling are safety, cost, and whether it's going to delay their student in their progress in their degree. And so we have answers for those questions, and we can help them sort things out so that they understand that their students are going to be safe, that they can finish their degree on time, and that often with one of our many exchange partners, the only additional cost is airfare and the difference of cost of living between Decatur and the international city. I think my best advice for parents is to let go a little bit and let your student explore. College is an amazing time for your student to find out who they are and who they are on their own, and to let them learn a little bit of self-reliance. They're not always going to be successful, but this is the safest place for them to try and fail, and college is set up to let them learn from that experience.
Well, I'm Cindy Fuller, and I'm the director at Staley Library. The library focuses on 3 things, or 4 things actually. Education, with our strong library instruction program. We also have resources, of course, and that's what most people usually think of first. And we have a very strong collection of both online and physical resources for students to use for the research. We also provide space for students to study, and we've got lots of individual spaces as well as collaborative spaces for students to meet as a group for group projects and that sort of thing. Well, the library provides a range of services. The most important one is research assistance, so students can come in and ask us questions about their research needs. It can be beginning and middle of research, and we can help them with that. And then we have computers that students can use, and they come in and use it to print out their papers, so our printers are the most heavily used on campus. We also have interlibrary loan service. So even though we have lots of excellent resources in the library, if we don't have it, we can get it from another library really quickly. And then we also have little things that students really appreciate, like 3-hole punch, staplers, and paper clips. Well, my advice for parents would be to let them know that we can help their student with anything. Their students can come to the library and ask any question. We can help them find the answer.
My name is Brittany Patrick. I'm a family nurse practitioner, and I will be working at the Decatur Memorial Health Clinic located on the northeast corner of Wood and Fairview, right across from the disc. The health clinic, we will be taking care of all the students and the faculty, all of their healthcare services. For students, we will treat their illnesses, we will assess injuries, we will provide immunizations, allergy shots. We do laboratory testing, including blood draws, mono, pregnancy, flu, strep, and STI testing. We're also there to promote wellness education. For parents, I would let them know that we are their physician while they're away from school, so anything that they need to let us know. I would also tell the parents to make sure Decatur Memorial Hospital is in their network, because if not, they might have to pay the out-of-network fees. If you're not, see if you can get an exemption for this year or while they're away at school.
Hi, my name is Carrie Pearson, and I work in the Office of Student Success, and we are located in Schilling 204. Office of Student Success has many functions, but we are the academic hub outside of the classroom. So we take care of any academics that don't occur in the classroom, so any resources that a faculty member wouldn't provide, we provide in our office. So we take care of exploratory majors, which are the undecided students of their major. We work through that process with them, as well as we take care of students with documented disabilities. So students that had IEPs or 504 plans and they received accommodations in high school, we can take care of many of those accommodations here as well at Millikin. We provide tutoring and supplemental instruction, so an additional resource of re-explaining or explaining again a concept that a student might need to hear more than once outside of the classroom. We also help students with majors and minors if they would like to add those. We also help with study skills or any of those kind of things that a student would need in addition to the regular classroom lecture setting. Parents of incoming students need to know that we are the place that will take care of their students' academic questions. Faculty members are very approachable on campus, and they will help in and outside of the classroom all of the time. But sometimes students need a different face or have a question that maybe they're uncomfortable with. We're the office that they can ask that question, and we can help them connect with a faculty member or another member on campus to get them the answers that they need to be successful. The advice I have for parents is every October and April, midterm grades come out. Every student at Millikin gets midterm grades. It's the perfect time for parents to have that text message or telephone conversation about asking them to take a screenshot of what those grades look like. It gives parents and students both a great idea of where things really stand. In high school, parents have the liberty to just look at their grades any time of the day or at night at the click of their fingers, and in college that's different, so it's a great time for them to have an academic grade conversation.
An open mind. I mean, they're going to have an opportunity here to see and experience new things without a lot of external influences that maybe shaped them in the past. So maybe they'll grow in a different direction and a new direction. So I would encourage them to bring that while focusing on their surroundings and being aware and staying cognizant of their safety.
New students should remember to bring an open mind, resiliency, hard work ethic, and the willingness to learn and become different, because college can be a life-changing experience if you only let it be so.
I think new students should remember to bring a first aid kit with Band-Aids and antibiotic ointment, Tylenol and ibuprofen, and then their favorite cold medicine.
We have numerous students who come to campus without any proof of insurance. I think it's very valuable to make sure that they come with an insurance card so that when they're coming in, when they're not feeling well, it'll just make the whole process much more simple.
They need to bring a coat. I cannot tell you how many kids I see walking around campus without a coat. Bring a coat.
One of the things that I would really encourage students to bring with them when they come to Millikin is a pretty practical piece of advice, but it's rain boots and an umbrella. I often see students running around in the rain with not waterproof shoes on and no umbrella, and then they just have soggy feet the rest of the day, and who wants soggy feet the rest of the day?
Two things. A pen, because a pen is more powerful than a telephone, and two, good old common sense.
I think new students should bring a clean slate and an open attitude and open to all the new and incoming things that they're going to learn and do.
New students should remember to bring their curiosity to campus. You've had a pretty regimented education up to this point, and there's a whole bunch of new things you can discover. So don't worry about being cool. Don't worry about what you think you know to be true. Be curious and explore.
Their passion. I think that students need to come to Millikin or any institution of higher education with a real sense, not of necessarily what they want the end product to be, because I think this is a time for exploration, but I think that they need to come with a passion for learning and a passion for investigating who they are, and to be open to trying new things and really expanding their boundaries and pushing their own limits.
I think new students need to remember to bring a positive attitude and an entrepreneurial mindset. So they really need to own their career and know that that begins day one of the college experience. So they really need to dive in and take advantage of all the resources available to them and all those different experiences that will help them to plan for that life after graduation.
I'm going to change that a bit. I think they need to not bring everything to campus, because you would not be surprised the number of students that bring way too many things. We want your space in the residence halls and on campus to feel like home, but it also needs to be a space that is conducive for academic study, and you don't have that much room. So you also have a roommate more likely than not. So your roommate may bring a TV. So do you need to bring a TV? So it's really important when you get that roommate assignment that you talk with your roommate about what they're going to bring as well.
I'm Molly Berry. We met earlier today. It's been so nice to have you along for our tour of student development as we've gone through the different offices so you could learn more about where your student is going to be as far as next fall. So I want to tell you a little bit about my office. I'm the director of the Office of Inclusion and Student Engagement. And the main function of our office is to engage your student outside of the classroom so that they have a purposeful and meaningful experience their 4 years at Millikin. So our office deals with a variety of things, anywhere from our 70+ student organizations where your student can get plugged in to be a campus leader and have great resume experience as they apply for jobs their senior year, or it's a way for them to get involved in Greek life in one of our 11 chapters, whether it's a sorority or a fraternity. Our office also involves students in a lot of great activities involving race, culture, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, so all of the different things under the inclusion gamut. We sponsor a lot of different history and heritage months, and we would really encourage all of your students to come out and be involved in that. I think one of the main things that I want to talk about as far as how students find their fit at Millikin happens in our office. So if your student is not getting along with their roommate, if they're lost, they don't know how to get involved, they don't know how to get past the homesickness, send them to see me. Send them to see the staff in my office, and I assure you that we will get them plugged into campus and help them find meaningful college experiences. If I were to give my piece of advice for parents, it was don't forget that your student is only 18 years old. And although they are transitioning into college, they are dealing with a lot of different things, whether it's difficulty in the classroom, transitioning to a new roommate experience. So have some patience, ask good questions, and just be a listening ear.
Hi parents and families, my name is Rafael Apprendi and I'm your Dean of Students, so I'll be helping your student through their journey here at Millikin. The Dean of Students office at Millikin is a one-stop shop to help students get their questions answered and remove any barriers they have to persistence. So we work all across the campus to ensure your student can reach their fullest potential. The Dean of Students office provides lots of services to students, but one of the least known services is the fact we have short-term loans and grants for students experiencing financial difficulties. If your student calls you and is in need of an extra book, maybe needs some medical care, or needs any type of fund assistance to help them get through the semester, please have them come to my office. The advice I have for parents is to tell your student you love them before they leave for college. They really need to be affirmed by you and know that no matter what they do and how they perform, that they will have your unconditional love and support. Parents, I want you to know that you can call me whenever you have an issue that you need to discuss, whether it be about your family situation or your student situation. We are here for you to partner and ensure your student is successful.
So again, thank you so much for taking the time this morning to learn more about the offices that will support your student when they come to campus in the fall. We hope you've had a great time. We hope you've taken some really good notes, and we can't wait to see you on move-in day. Thanks so much.